Brandon. Brandon. Brandon! Go get yourself cleaned up. It's time for the next review. How did you do that?
Ever since I started this channel, I've become friends with a sentient plush leprechaun, been killed, brought back to life, developed an evil split personality that could somehow be seen on camera, murdered all of my friends and family in an alternate universe, and been kidnapped twice. I don't ask questions anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nothing makes sense. Today we are going to be looking at two short films from Goodshag Productions, the company started by my friend since high school, Dalton Lee. Both of these shorts are, well, short, which is why I'm going over two of them. They are their two horror entries entitled 10/31/17 and 10/31/18 respectively. Both films star Evan McDaniel and Mikey Mann, the first short also starring Matt Inman, who are all old friends of mine. Being the horror fan that I am, it shouldn't be any surprise that these are two of my favorites that this team has put together. So let's not waste any time and start off with 10/31/17. The short begins with a shot of the front door before we see Evan on the phone with Mikey. Neither of these shorts really name their characters, so I'm just going to refer to them by their real life names. About how the rain has ruined their Halloween night because no trick-or-treaters will be coming.
If there's any Heath bars in there, I want them.
Heath bars?
Heath bars?
Oh, fuck you.
Hey, don't get an attitude with me just because you have a shitty taste in candy. Evan tells Mikey that they're going to watch the first 3 Halloween films tonight, and then work on refinishing the bathroom in the morning. You have to really listen to what they're saying to get that though, because the audio here is kinda terrible.
Don't expect me to be up before noon tomorrow. I've been running around all day.
We're not going to sleep until we watch the first 3
Halloween movies, so we're probably not going to wake up this afternoon.
But as soon as we wake up, we've got to put a thing in this bathroom.
I'm not sure if it was the weather conditions or if it's just because this was early on in their career, but yeah, it's bad. It gets better in later videos though, I promise. Oh, and if you didn't notice, the door behind Evan opens when he walks into the bathroom. It's quick enough to not be too obvious, but it's obvious enough to be unsettling. It was a really nice touch. Mikey asks if Evan's kid is going to be there, so Evan starts to rant about his ex, but stops himself. We see Matt with a teddy bear head standing ominously in the background. At least he was nice enough to close the door behind him. Aw, and he's going to help Evan open his bag of candy. What a sweet guy. Oh god, not a nice guy, not a nice guy. Evan runs into the bathroom to escape Mr. Bear and shuts the door. Is it just me, or is the way that he's moving and breathing kinda saying that he's not really hurt that badly? Plus, that blood spray was tiny. Rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine. After 45 solid seconds of Evan breathing and panting, mixed with shots of the doorknob, he awkwardly shuffles around to take off his shirt to stop the blood flow. The reason his movement is so awkward is because he had a blood pump hose going up his back onto the side of his neck, which he was covering with his hand. I was actually the one working the blood pump. It wasn't my first choice as to my part in the film, though.
You cannot still be upset that you got replaced by Mikey.
Of course I'm still upset. That role was supposed to be mine.
You told them you were busy.
I just misunderstood what days they were shooting. My talents were not meant to be wasted on a freaking blood pump. My presence should have blessed that screen. It is a damn tragedy that the world will not get to see me in that role.
Christ, you're such a diva.
Evan passes out and finds the house to be quiet when he wakes up. After Dalton rips off Stanley Kubrick like any good independent filmmaker does, Evan walks out. Mikey shows up and tries to get in, but gets no answer from Evan, so he decides to go around back. Evan sees his phone but doesn't see Matt hiding in plain sight. He falls after getting stabbed and we see Mikey at the back door, but he doesn't see anything inside. Once Evan sees him though, it's revealed that Mikey was dead this whole time and we were seeing what happened while Evan was unconscious. It's a really cool sequence that actually made my jaw drop when I saw it for the first time, and I can't do it justice here. So just go watch it for yourself, please. Finally, Matt climbs on top of Evan and kills him with this disturbingly quiet shot. By this point in time, Matt was dripping sweat because he was wearing that bear mask, a hoodie, and a Carhartt. And then we all ended up getting distracted and goofing around, so he was pretty upset and irritated. He ended up getting so mad that we were worried he would accidentally actually stab Evan. But, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to get the shot, and I feel like Evan would have understood that. We then see a young boy knock on the door to be answered by Matt. The boy asks if his dad is there, and Matt notices that the boy's mom is also outside. He gives the boy the bag of candy with Evan's blood on it. He shoos the boy away and puts his jacket and mask back on. As Matt leaves, we hear the mom, voiced by Davin Smith, pounding on the door, demanding that Evan opens. We end with the door opening, left to imagine what her reaction to the scene will be. I think that the short is really good, but there's a couple of things here and there, like the audio and the lighting honestly being really flat, that shows how early in Goodshag Productions filmography this is. But jumping over to 10/31/18, we start with the shot of a door to a different house when a hooded figure appears and slowly knocks to be let in. The opening credits are intercut with shots of the homeowner preparing tea for his guest. The lighting and pacing of this sequence shows just how much the crew had learned in only a year. The two make rather one-sided small talk about the house, and we realize that Evan's character is the previous owner. Just to be clear, these are different characters than in the previous short. Goodshag Productions is a really small crew with primarily 3 people, Dalton, Evan, and Mikey, with some help from various others. So all of their shorts really star the same people, but they're all good enough actors that you can tell that they are constantly playing different characters. As Evan stares toward the basement, Mikey makes this comment.
It's just the way you left it. No offense.
I had apparently been misinterpreting that line this whole time. This is Mikey's character commenting on how Evan's character left the house in disrepair when he moved out. The dialogue in both of these shorts is kinda janky and not really flowing like normal conversations. I can't really hold that too much against Dalton though, because I'm also really bad at writing dialogue, so I really feel his pain when it comes to that part of writing a script. Evan comments that Mikey hasn't torn up the carpet yet, but Mikey says that he just hasn't gotten around to it. Another surprise knock on the door makes Evan go quiet. The porch light won't turn on, so we don't get to see the faces of 2 women, played by Paige, Tarrence, and Dalton's wife, Megan Lee, as they ask if they can get a ride somewhere. Mikey looks back and sees that Evan is gone and shuts the door in the girls' faces. Rude. He goes and looks for his missing guest and finds him furiously running up the basement like he just saw a ghost. Evan flees the house, the 2 girls gone and the light working again. Mikey goes back inside to check the basement in a shot that is so good it pisses me off. The camera work in this one is vastly greater than in the last one, which had pretty straightforward cinematography. Despite the fact that this shot caused Dalton to develop his pretentious filmmaker alter ego, Stanley Coke Bricks. Mikey searches the basement and finds a CD and hesitantly plays it, which lets us hear a man whispering as a woman cries. Mikey unplugs the stereo when she starts screaming, but realizes it actually came from one of the rooms. The lights turn off and he checks the room, where we see the 2 girls from outside covered in blood, even though he can't see them. He starts to leave when a sound catches his attention, and another great shot shows that the girls are now following him. Oh my god, I love the cinematography so much! He shuts the door on the approaching specters and goes to leave, thinking that everything is okay. These two shorts are a prime example of not needing a huge budget or a large crew or even more than one location to make something good. They're cheap, they're small, and they may have a few things wrong with them, but these shorts, even when comparing them to each other, shows that with just willpower, imagination, and passion, you can make something enjoyable. Even though I prefer the second over the first, both shorts are testaments to what you can accomplish if you want it enough. Watching their filmography front to back shows how much they improve every time they make something. Except for the sauce. That one is just weird. I could sing praises to these two all day, but instead, I'll just say that you should go watch 1031:17 and 1031:18, including all of their other work, on the Goodshag Productions YouTube channel right now. Except for the sauce. Because seriously, it's about the Szechuan dipping sauce from McDonald's. I don't get it. But now, I have reviewed 2 of Goodshag's films. Now can I go?
Not yet.
Come on! None of my other filmmaking friends have really put anything else out. What do you want me to do?
You know.
The redneck.
It's the biggest film you've been a part of so far, so now you must critique yourself.
He has to review his old reviews.
Shut up, he can hear you.
Who is that?
Don't worry about it. Gotta go. Bye.
Okay. Well, the link to Goodshag Productions YouTube channel and all of their social media will be down in the comments, as well as mine. But before you go there, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe so that I can see you guys next time. You guys heard that too, right? That was weird.